New video for a new kind of saber from Rebel Sabers. This one, the name alone kind of gave me an idea of how my personality is and just how it kind of makes perfect sense because of my mindset and how some of my favorite characters from like most like superhero movies and stuff are always this type of kind of character. So, not so much hero or villain, but the vigilante. So not Jedi or Sith, but Grey Jedi, the middle ground. And yes, they do exist. There are Grey Jedi out there, and they should be. They need to be. They should be out there because those will be the ones that are the mediators who have the Jedi who most of them suck. Mindset's a little off here and there, very close-minded about most things, and then the Sith who try to conquer and kill everything. So the Grey Jedi are the best way to go. How both sides come into place into one mindset, but also evil must not be allowed to flourish. So instead of fighting the Sith and sparing them, kill them. Otherwise, they keep coming back and then things wreak havoc more and more and more. So that's why I like the vigilantes, like Venom, Deadpool, Punisher, and many others. So here is one of the newest ones from the Night series called The Vigilante. A little bit of both kind of settings in a way. A little bit of like a silver kind of look with some black in there. Even some detail and everything. And again, it looks big and feels kind of thick, but it's actually a little bit light. Kind of like the other one. Not as light as my previous one, the Phantom Warden, but it's not that heavy at all. It's like a little bit heavier than the Phantom Warden, so you can still do plenty with it and not strain your wrist or anything. So first and foremost, you got this kind of emitter, which I think is from the Rook, which I think is another saber. I think probably from the Apprentice series, and probably one of my favorite parts because it's just a nice little ring to it. That's cool. That's a nice little feature about it. So, one style kind of emitter, ring kind of look for part of the grip. Chassis is about the same. Grenade style kind of grip, and it actually feels like you actually be able to grip it and not worry about slipping off when it comes to holding it. Would have like sweaty or clammy hands or anything, if they're either wet or whatever. So nice, good grip, almost like the grip you feel almost like a baton or a grenade or a pistol in a way, the firearms. But so because of that, it's actually really good, strong. Nice little pommel right here. And also, there is actually, on one of these sabers, if you look closely right here, there's no sound holes. The sound holes going through the sides. And here, you even got a little extra piece. And some sabers have this one, a pommel piece that you could actually screw onto from another saber, put that one on, and actually do like a saber staff. For this one, it comes in two pieces. And from here, you got this new looking kind of coupler. And before the coupler, the threads were inside this piece right here where you see all the holes. See all the holes and everything? The threads usually be in the inside for the front and the back. So in that case, when you see how the holes are on this part, even right there, almost gives like a little extra length for it. So plus, probably with this piece attached, you might have a chance to actually put a Covertech wheel in here to kind of customize it to be able to kind of carry your saber on your Covertech clip and make things a little easier to put on your belt when you want to do like the whole thing of like the cosplaying, being part of Saber Guild, or anything kind of related to kind of doing that in general. So these new kind of couplers, they're pretty cool. So might come in handy just in case if I want to try to put a Covertech wheel on there, so that way the saber, when it's right here, if the Covertech wheel fits and it goes in steady, I'm gonna hang down like this, so that way we'd be perfectly still all the way down instead of like a middle or something else. So perfectly great design, nice bit of weight, not too heavy but not too light, nice kind of like equalizing setting in a way. So it's just really nice looking kind of thing. There's 3 holes for the retention screws, and then the rest are just skinny holes, but basically for the emitters. You see the light coming through when you attach a blade to it. And there's another thing, and this is really important because there are some people who try to charge the sabers and they're not sure either to do with the cable that came with or something else. You have to go with the cable that it came with, which is this. It's a 9-volt. Well, actually, scratch that. It's a 5V or 5-volt cable by USB. Only use these kind of cables to charge them up because the circuit board are only designed to be charged with these kind of cables in order to charge them up all the way and you'll be good to go. Never ever use a 9V or 9-volt cable like to plug into a wall or whatever, because the saber will start blinking, and essentially if you leave it on too long after that, you could actually fry the board. So if you fry the board, the saber basically becomes useless when it comes to electronics and stuff. So if that comes down, you contact Will. You fill you in on what happened. You should fill him in on what happened, and then should be able to send it back to him. He'll fix it, either fix or replace it, and then send it back to you free of charge. Since all these sabers from Rebel Sabers have one free 1-year warranty, besides the fact they're all free shipping too. So yeah, every single saber is 1-year warranty for repairs, damages, or anything. Send it back to him, fix it, replace it, bring it back to you, right as rain. Also, customer service is extremely excellent. Sometimes you can either have a response from customer service, which in this case, this person, his name is Peeler. The response back compared to most companies, from what I've heard, because I've never shopped at most companies, mainly just at Rebel Sabers only. Customer service, you can get response back within a few minutes to a day, compared to every other company that I've heard of, from like allegations and other kind of stuff here and there. Customer service is awesome. Literally, between a few minutes up until a day, you get response back from Peeler or whoever else is in charge of customer service, and the responses are crisp, clean. Everything's all straightforward, and it's all good. Plus, when it comes to pieces that you might need, because as usual for most sabers, you get the cable, blade, and a bag that contains the instructions, the retention screws, and the wrench itself. If you need extra retention screws, I'm not sure if they'll give you extra screws because I've never asked for that kind of thing before. But the retention screws, if you want to find some online to stock up on, just in case you lose them, because retention screws are extremely tiny and are necessary or needed to actually put the blade on and keep it still. They're called M4 grub screws. Okay, M4, letter M, number 4, grub, like you're eating food, grub screws. those are the specific kinds of retention screws that you need for sabers to maintain the blades for this company. Certain other companies do use different retention screws, and for grub screws are what to use for these sabers, for Rebel sabers, just in case if you need to get some more. So, with all that out of the way, the soundboard has some more surprises compared to the previous ones. So, Rebel Sabers never ceases to amaze me with things that I thought would just be the same, but no, there's more different stuff. It's like so crazy. So, turn it on. And I'll put it sideways instead of here because there's no sound holes here, only through here. So that's even sounded different for power on. And of course, you turn it on. My main thing about this saber that was actually surprising is that the response of turning it on, but also when it comes to changing the sound fonts, it's not too fast, because some parts it almost sounds like it kind of cut off at the beginning of whatever it was saying when it comes to functions or sound fonts or music or whatever. It was a little cut off at the very beginning. This time it actually plays the whole entire thing, including the very beginning, all the way to the end, because my previous sabers had a little bit of that problem where you would hear the function, you would hear the words or the voices come out, but a bit of the beginning of it was kind of cut off. So, and I think I might have relayed this message to Will before on Facebook. So the fact it actually says everything clearly, even when turning on the saber, that's a huge plus. It's like it's like these little minute kind of things, like little subtle differences that I actually hear and gonna go for, but it helps a lot. And also, what I noticed about the other sabers, when you put it on pulse mode or unstable, there'll be this kind of like a buzzing sound. I'll show you what I mean on the next video I make after this one. But for this one, oh, and the speaker has been improved since also, even on loud mode compared to soft mode or mute, actually the sound quality is improved even more. So this is also really crazy. So we'll go back to this font, but we'll skip the rest of the fonts because there's some new fonts in here that kind of replace some different ones. But hear the difference between most of them. So, see. 1, 2, 3. So you actually hear the whole thing instead of just like, yeah. So it actually hears the whole thing perfectly, and also had like a little like a. It's kind of cool. Almost like a triangle kind of sound to it, kind of thing. So, Leia. Crisp and clean. And of course, extremely outstanding smooth swing. And this is a budget lightsaber that has this kind of good sounds, that has this really cool smooth swing. Of course, you got blaster, flash on. We got we hear this kind of sound for the flash on clash. That was very responsive compared to the previous soundboards. Saber lockup. Of course, the color changes. So, of course, you got the same kind of sound fonts.
Never underestimate a droid. Yes, Master. This mission is everything we cannot fail. The shuttle to be his loyalty.
good stereo quality coming out of the speaker of this saber compared to most. So that's awesome. And next font.
I've been waiting for this day for a long time.
Again, it plays the whole thing. Nothing from the top, nothing from the beginning to the end is cut off. Like the very beginning of it actually plays out instead of like a snippet of it chopped away and then the rest plays. It plays the whole thing fluently. I love that. So, Kylo Ren.
I'll show you the dark side. Kylo Ren. Kill them all.
Next one.
General Kenobi.
This is a new one. I did not expect this one.
Hello there. So uncivilized. I have the high ground!
So definitely Obi-Wan Kenobi from episode 3. Next one.
Count Dooku.
Another new one. Count Dooku. Remember from episode 2 and 3.
It is obvious that this contest cannot be decided by our knowledge of the Force, but by our skills with a lightsaber.
Probably one of the coolest scenes from episode 2 when Darth Tyrannus or Count Dooku versus Yoda. Trippy scene.
This is just the beginning. I've become more powerful than any Jedi.
Next one.
I'm Cal Kestis.
Same one from the previous saber. So even on the loud setting, it's crisp and clean. There's no like audio effects or like almost like a muddy sound to it. It's actually crisp and clean.
You are no Jedi! You would be wise to surrender.
Yeah. Probably. This is Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. I regret to report that both our Jedi Order and the Republic have fallen.
Nice, even a nice little ringing sound to it just because of the make of this saber. Nice little ring for it, like the whole way, almost everything kind of has this at the very end. Next one.
The Force is with you, young Skywalker. But you are not a Jedi yet.
Always gotta have the classic ones.
Don't make me destroy you. I'll never join you! If you only knew the power of the dark side. Join me, and together we can rule the galaxy's father and son. Don't make me destroy you.
Another thing I noticed is that when they actually play the sound fonts, it doesn't play some of them doubled or tripled and then it goes to the next one. It actually continues to rotate. That's interesting. I'm literally just kind of finding out right now that the rotation of the 3 sound fonts, or of 3 kinds of voices that you hear while the saber is active for that sound font, it actually cycles properly instead of some of them playing doubled or tripled. So that's really good improvement. Next one.
You have something I want.
Moff Gideon for the Darksaber. Of course, everybody saw the craziness for the season 2 finale of Mandalorian.
moment of consideration.
The structure you are trapped in will be raised in short order. Just as you betrayed our business arrangement, I would gladly break any promise and watch you die in my hands.
It's so nice to actually have the sound fonts with the Saber active cycle perfectly. Before it was a little bit of a hassle. Now it just flows. Everything's goes the whole flows perfectly the whole way. Next one. Another new one that replaced one of the other ones, Empress Palpatine.
Don't be afraid of me anymore.
Empress Palpatine. You will be Empress. We will be one.
Don't be afraid of me anymore.
That sound font is actually Dark Ray from the last episode of Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, in the broken second Death Star on the one planet. So, nice new one. Replaced one of the other ones, but goes perfectly well. And next one.
Ray Skywalker.
Before that part kind of cut off in the beginning, now it says it followed all the way, including the activation, where it turns on the one saber and it clicks on.
You're not with me. You can't do it for me. Ray. Ray who?
I think that might be the last one, but just in case, I'll check for to go again. Yeah, that's the last one. So, and of course, just like the other saber, when you hold it when it's turned off, 3 blinks from the AV switch. It goes by seconds, but if you look closely, it's actually just by blinks. Press and hold for 3 blinks and let go. You get the music. While the saber is off, you can actually hear the music play and still click on the saber afterwards. So it's almost like you kind of do your own little background music while practicing or dueling against somebody else. Nice, cool thing for a video. Provide music backgrounds to play through, and after that, then goes back to normal, or goes back to being quiet. So, cool sound features, all kinds of cool stuff. 9 sound fonts, 3 quotes from each one. Flash on Clash, Saber Lockup. And I believe, just in case, just to kind of show, because the one thing that kind of made things solid all the way. Also because there's also 3 sound modes: loud, soft, and no sound, or stunt saber kind of thing. Also, when you hear the sound font change, or the voice change for the blade effect or the volume, even that sounds different. But just in case, put the blade in without the treasure screws, and just to kind of like test it.
Set sound.
Even that sounds different.
No sound. Not sound.
Even that sounds different. Even the saber effect, saber blade effect, also different kind of thing. Actually, I want to do something real quick before doing that. Change the color to make it look more different. Alright. Now from here, change the sound, change the saber effect.
Pulse.
Yeah, pulse. Even when you put it on pulse, there's no buzzing. That's a good improvement. Try it again with unstable.
Unstable.
Even that's crisp and clear to actually hear. And again, no buzzing.
Stable.
So, goes the whole entire way perfectly. Even for like the regular kind. And what's cool is that it just looks straight green from here, but I guess the camera makes it look even brighter. Let's just be up close and personal kind of thing with the saber. Turn it off all the way. So turning it on is reminiscent of the first soundboard, because this is almost like soundboard number 4. But when you try and turn it completely off, it's just like soundboard number 3, which is the previous saber, where it turns off all the way and you don't hear anything. So that's it for the saber review. I think I'm the only one who's actually done a saber review of this specific saber, the Vigilante from the Night series. Definitely worth it. Goes the whole entire way. And as far as I'm concerned, all sabers do the obianis perfectly, or the flourishing kind of movements with a saber. We kind of make it dance all around you. Goes the whole entire way, including the dark quilling, because it may be a tank and it's heavier compared to most sabers, but it can be done because I've done it before. Even Ray Park has done it before at a Comic-Con event, so they all can do the obianis or the flourishing perfectly. So that's it for the saber review of the Vigilante that goes perfectly with my mental nature and just how my mindset goes about most things, including with Star Wars. And that should be it. So I have something special for another video after this. So thanks again. See you in the next one.